Now, before we get into the video, if you want to join a group of like-minded individuals and people who are serious about making money long term, then join the private group. The link is in the description. Now, as you can see, the results speak for itself. In the last 2 years, we've made hundreds and hundreds of X's on long-term investments, and we will continue to do so in the future. Now, I also have a free Telegram group. The link is also in the description for that as well. Now, AI is arguably the future and has been performing extremely well in 2022, in 2023, and now in 2024. And I think it will continue to perform well in the coming months to a year. And this is why you should aim to accumulate, 3 to 4 AI projects with huge potential. Now, the two that I have the most conviction in is AGI and AI Tech. This is because these guys are heavily funded, heavily backed. AGI is backed by Google and Microsoft, and AI Tech is backed by European governments as they solve a real data and GPU, CPU problem in Europe. And this is why I think these can perform well. Now, one of the key features I think, that makes them stand out above others is the fact that they are heavily funded, meaning they can pay for tier 1 exchanges. And when Binance actually made a poll on what projects to be listed next, AGI and AI Tech won those votes. So you could potentially see this on Binance very soon. Now, it has to be at the right time in order to make the most impact. And this is why I think they've waited to get a tier 1 exchange listing. And this is, these two projects have been consolidating for the past month. They're showing a lot of strength, and you should be accumulating these two for the coming AI pump. Now, gaming is one of the most undervalued sectors in the crypto space currently, as most of the gaming projects have taken a 70 to 90% hit since the change of narratives. And I think OTK, Naka, and another gem that we'll be talking about on Microcap have huge potential from this point on, as most of them have corrected significantly. And, it is a good time to start DCAing into them. Now, OTK is a gaming studio built on Solana. Now, in my opinion, it is the best gaming project on Solana. So as we know, Solana is a bullish chain. And I think if Solana performs well, then his ecosystem will also perform. And this is why I am bullish on OTK. Now, for those of you who don't know what OTK is, it's ultimately a gaming studio for hyper casual games on mobile. Now, they are already open on App Store and Google Store. And, they have very strong figures in terms of 2 million downloads and 30k regular monthly players. And this is why, if people are playing the game, then ultimately it will perform. That's what it comes down to, because the only reason people are playing this is because they're earning money. And the earning aspect is the most bullish aspect when it comes to a gaming project, as it gives the players more incentive to keep playing the game. Now, OTK, in my opinion, still has the potential to do maybe, I would say, close to 500 million in the coming bull run. If retail comes in, if the economy is doing well, then this could actually go parabolic. Now, Nakamoto Games, they've recently got a partnership with Microsoft. And in terms of, it is kind of similar to OTK in terms of hyper casual games. These are not AAA style games. These are very easy to play games, and then ultimately, if you look at the charts, this is one of the strongest projects, in terms of the gaming sector. This hasn't corrected as strong as other projects, which shows a lot of interest. A lot of people are willing to, to keep buying this project every time it dips. And if you look at the trading volume, it's over 22 million, which is ultimately bullish. And, in terms of, a safe gaming play, I would say, even though no crypto is safe, this is one of the safest gaming plays you can buy, for a safe 20x maybe. And I think it will be one of the leading gaming projects in this coming bull run. Now, for those of you who want a micro-cap gaming project with huge potential, one that you put a small percentage of your portfolio in, high risk, high reward type of play, then Munity is a good bet for that. Now, it is sitting on 300k market cap with a very impressive trading volume of 250k. Now, they've recently just got on the DEX, which have caused that pump. Now, I've been telling people to buy this for the last 2 weeks, and it was below seed prices. So you would have been ultimately been up around 70 to 80% on your investment, as a lot of people made in my VIP group. Now, MetaHost Unity is built on Beam. It focuses on mobile esports, which for me is bullish, because if you can play a game on your phone and have the potential to earn 10 to 15k every month, then ultimately a lot of people will flock to play this game, and I think this is why it will perform well. Now, the studio behind this is a massive Web2 studio called Hungry Games. They've been involved in very, very successful games. They've got over 32 employees. So ultimately, this is just promising, because the games will come out on time. They are up to date with the roadmap, and I think the new games will coming out very soon. Which is the actual game that most people actually wanted. Well, when you look at the trailer for this project, the MetaHost Unity game is what makes people buy this project, and that's coming out very soon. And they've also got App Store and Google Store coming out as well. So they've got a lot of bullish stuff planned in the coming weeks, 2 months. Now, RWA has been one of the best performers this year, with the likes of BlackRock coming into crypto and potentially wanting to tokenize everything. I think it will do well in this coming bull run. And for that reason, I think it's worth holding 1 to 2 RWA projects, 1 degen and 1 safe play. And Relio is a safe RWA play. This is because, it is funded and backed by an institution that is, they've ultimately funding the development of this project through their own money. And this is why I think it can perform well. Now, the market cap is higher than 10 million. I think it's well over 100 million right now. However, it is one that can reach in the billions of dollars in market cap, and I think it will perform well as a safe RWA play. Now, if you want a more degen RWA play, then StateX is one of those projects. Now, this isn't released just yet. It's coming out very soon. However, one of the things I like about this project is the fact that you can turn your investment into fiat very rapidly. You can also pay. They have their own payment system. And the most bullish thing is you can ultimately pay for everyday goods using your property portfolio. So let's say you own a share of a real estate, of a house or whatever it is. Every month you get your token. You can use those tokens to pay for everyday goods. And this is where this project stands out. Now, one of the other key features is the fact that they are backed by Microsoft. They've got a grant from Microsoft. So ultimately, Microsoft is funding the development of this project. They've also got other partners as well, like Swiss Bank, Swiss Money, Cashlink. These are very big institutions. And for that reason, I think this can perform extremely well. Now, the BRC narrative was one that took a lot of people by surprise. A lot of people wasn't expecting, this narrative to pick up, the concept of building a Bitcoin. However, it went parabolic, and I think it still has a chance to have another run. And this is why I think it's worth holding a few tokens in this narrative. And Merlin and BVM are the best ones in my opinion, as they are the safest. You don't need to be too degen in this narrative, as it is very speculative. Now, I have made a separate video on Merlin and BVM explaining them in depth, so I don't need to go through it in this video. If you want to know exactly what they are, then check out that video. Now, in terms of the best time to buy this project, Merlin specifically, it is in August and September, because right now the dilution is around 8 to 9x. However, in August to September, it is only a 5x. So I think that will be the best time to invest in this project. Now, BVM, on the other hand, this is a little bit of a mid cap, whereas BVM is a bit of a lower cap. It's not too high. It's only 37 million, 35 in market cap. Now, they've ultimately kind of do the same thing, ZK rollups, building on Bitcoin, having the features of Bitcoin and security, etc., but building on BVM. Now, this is a Bitcoin virtual machine. That's what it's called. It's very easy to actually build on this platform. It is a layer 1 as well as a layer 2. Now, in terms of investments, I wouldn't go too heavy in the BRC20 narrative. However, it is definitely worth holding a few tokens in this narrative. And I think these two are the best ones. Now, when it comes to layer 1s, Tectum and Casper are the safest layer 1 plays, and in my opinion, the best ones. Now, with Tectum, there is no more dilution till 2026, so there will be no more tokens coming in circulation. Now, apart from this, it is a layer 1 as well as a layer 2 for Bitcoin. But the most important aspect is the revolutionary tech, which the soft nodes. So for those of you who don't understand, is the best payment methods for Bitcoin. Now, let's say you want to send a friend, a bit of Bitcoin, a bit of USDT, a bit of, ETH, whatever it is. You can ultimately do that by just sending them a text message, and those soft nodes will ultimately be used as a form of payment. Just by texting someone, you can text them $20 worth of USDT, and that will ultimately come to them as a form of payment. And this is why I think the soft nodes are revolutionary tech. And if it gets, if they can actually pull this off, this can go parabolic. There was a lot of people that was willing to buy this at $30. Now that it's at 11, 12, people are hesitating to buy this project, which to me, it doesn't make sense. All the smart people, are bagging this up heavy. And I think it will have another run up and it will break past its all-time highs. And in the bull run, just the whole concept of having 3.5 million TPS is enough to make this project go parabolic, when retail comes into crypto. Now, I probably don't need to introduce Casper. This is one of the most bullish layer ones, and it has a massive community. And I'm sure everyone has heard of this project at least once. Now, it is one that is likely to do a 10 to 20x this cycle. Now, I think it will probably reach around $1.5. It is a safe play. It's one that you can actually go in heavier on. And, most people put a lot of money into these type of projects, just for a 10x and they get out. Now, if there's any people that's telling you that this is going to go to $100 billion this bull run, they are lying to you. They want you to be bag holders while they take profits. So, any real investor, any smart investor will get out of this around 10 to 15x. I mean, it's already massive in market cap. For this to do a 10x, you need $36 billion. Now, that is a lot of money. And, I could potentially see this doing around 40 to 50 billion. So between, a 10 to 15x. And this is where I would take most of my money out of this project. Now, when it comes to the entertainment narrative, I only personally hold Karate and Rystream. This is because, these two projects have good potential in terms of the entertainment side. Karate is ultimately a legit business they operate in. It's like the UFC, they have regular fights, and you can ultimately use the Karate token to place bets on these fights. So it does have a bullish aspect. A lot of people do like betting, and and a lot of people like UFC as well. So it kind of covers both of those narratives. Now, it is $40 million in market cap, and this could potentially reach a couple $1 billion in market cap. So it is still worth investing into. And I think ultimately it has bottomed out. It had a massive unlock. A lot of people took profits or sold due to the unlock. And now I think it has bottomed out and people are slowly buying again. Now, Rystream, on the other hand, is similar to Hello. However, their project is a little bit different in the sense where they have two launch pads. And in order for you to access these launch pads, you have to stake the token. So it does have very good token utility. Now, just like Hello, they do have, one of their shows, which is Crypto Night. And, they're kind of forming the team right now. And I think it will still perform, if they can, adapt, on all the mistakes that Hello did, then they can perform way better than Hello. Now, apart from that, they also have the two launch pads. I think that is where the token is going to increase in value, because you have to stake in order to watch the show, in order to have all the other aspects of Rystream. They have a lot of connections as well in terms of tier 1 exchange listings. So we could see this on some tier 1 exchanges. Now, the CEO does have other companies beside this. So, he is pretty much, well funded, I would say. But for $6 million in market cap, it is a worthy investment in the entertainment narrative. Now, in terms of DeFi, it is worth holding a project or two. However, I only hold one project, which is Amulet. Now, this is a yield farming protocol, but with built-in protection. It is very secure. It is backed by the Solana Foundation, backed by OKX and Mantle, etc. Aminico brand. There's a bunch of big companies backing this project. And for that reason, because it's built on Solana, I think it can perform well. If you look at the chart, it's been holding up very well. It's not one of those projects that's been dumping too much. There's always been, pumps in between. So it's been kind of consolidating. However, recently it did have a very big pump up to like 70 cents. And this is where my private group took profits on this. And we made, around a 3x on this. And I think it is one that you can actually hold for the bull run, because Solana is a bullish chain. If Solana performs well, its ecosystem will perform. And this is the best DeFi project on Solana. So it's definitely worth holding this project.